Hi everyone, I am Trần Huấn from class English 9 of KTĐN University. Today I present to you about preparing for a job interview. My presentation is divided into 5 parts. First, I will talk about preparing before the interview. Then I will look at preparing for interview questions. Next is preparing questions for the employer and top 10 tips for a successful job interview. Finally, I will tell you about the things that you need to do after the interview. My presentation will take about 5 minutes. Now, let's start in preparing before the interview. You must be sure to do some background research to become familiar with the company. This might include researching any current events that might relate to the company or in industry, the company goals and objectives, and the history of the company. Here are some questions to help you with your research. What does the company do? What's involved in the position you are applying for? What qualification do you need for this position? What kind of skill is the employer looking for? Print up an extra copy of your resume so the employer can refer to it during the interview. You should also bring a copy of your reference list. Well, I will tell you about preparing before the interview. Now, we will move on to preparing for interview questions. One of the best way to prepare for an interview is to anticipate question the interviewer may ask. This will allow you to give thoughtful and organized answers during your interview. Here are some questions you should be comfortable answering. Why do you want this job? How did you become interested in this field of work? What do you have to offer to this company? What are some of your strengths and weaknesses? What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? Here are some tips to help you strengthen your answer to potential interview questions. Review your experience at work, at school, and in volunteer activity. Think of examples and situations that demonstrate your ability or strengths. Make a list of your accomplishments or achievements to reference during the interview. Think about challenges you have faced in the past and be prepared to describe how you deal with them and what you learn. I will tell you about preparing for interview questions. Let's meet now to preparing questions for the employer. At the end of an interview, you are typically asked if you have any question about the company or job you are applying for. The job interview is not only an opportunity for the employer to interview you, it's also an opportunity for you to interview your employer. By asking thoughtful and appropriate questions, you are showing the employer that you are interested in being part of their company. Things you could ask the employer include: how is the company structured, and how would my roles contribute to the works of the company? What is a typical day in the life of a person who works in this position? How would this position allow me to learn and grow? I will tell you about preparing questions for the employer. Let's look now at top 10 tips for successful job interview. 1. Dress for success. Iron your clothes if you can, and avoid strong perfumes. 2. Be there on time. Try to arrive 5 or 10 minutes early to be safe. 3. Let your personality size. If you are excited about the job, don't be afraid to show it. Just remember to always keep it professional. 4. Be confident. Eye contact and a calm. Clear speaking voice are excellent ways to show your confidence. What's your body language? What's your body language during your interview? Relax and sit naturally, but don't slouch in your chest or lunge on the interviewer's desk. Avoid showing up. 6. Be professional. This begins with a smile and a firm handshake. Remember, this is the first introduction to the company, so be polite to everyone you meet and turn off your cell phone. 7. Listen and ask for clarification if you need it. Remember to listen carefully to the interview question so that you actually answer the question and never interrupt. If you don't understand something, don't be afraid to ask for clarification. Let them know what you have to offer. When answering the question, let the employer see what you have to offer their company. Talk about your past experience and tie those experience to how they can help you contribute to their company. Nice. Think before you speak. Although you want to be open and honest in your interview, avoid talking about your personal or financial problem. Hence, don't lie. Making sure you don't lie. That is the top 10 tips for successful job interview. And finally, I will tell about the things that you need to do after the interview. Although the actual interview is over, the process isn't totally over. It's always idea to reflect on the experience, review your next step. After the interview, you may want to do a personal evaluation of how it went. Write down some of your answers to questions asked and assess them to see if they was the best possible answer. This will help you learn from your mistakes and prepare for future interviews. Even if you don't get the job, try not to get discouraged. Like any new skill, you need to practice to get better. Interviewing is the same. The more you do it, the easier it will become. Now, just to summarize, let's quickly look at the main point again. The first is preparing before the interview. The second is preparing for interview question. Next is preparing question for the employer, and top 10 tips for a successful job interview. Finally, the things that you need to do after the interview. Thanks for listening.